You are right here, right now, watching Light Up TV or listening to the podcast. Thanks so much for being here because today I've got Jeannette Austin, who is a keynote speaker, trainer, and a coach in natural design, which I hope we'll dive into because it's very cool. And you're just super cool. I mean, look at these nails. Look at this hair. Look at just owning who we are. Yeah.
Blue is the thing.
Have you always been this way where you kind of are a little on the like
Yeah.
spunky side?
Absolutely. I'm an only child, and so I always blazed my own trail. And so, yeah, it's part of who I am. Blue's been my favorite color my whole life, and
Why don't we have that in your branding?
I
Are we?
will have to
We're going to talk on that. We've got purple in there and we've got some teal, or that darker blue. Oh, you do have that darker
Yeah.
blue. But is this like your
This is technically
blue?
cobalt blue.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love that,
It's
Jane.
a blend of blue and purple.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. So besides brand colors, how and when did you know that you wanted to be a keynote speaker and a trainer? Because you have quite a history in government and doing other things. How did this spur? You had a aha moment? What happened?
So I started out in recreation administration. So because I loved events, I loved sports, activities, I loved planning things. And so that kind of was my natural progression. But leadership was the heart and soul of what I've done since I was probably born, basically. One of those natural born leaders, as they say. But my work in government took me to realize that women in particular often end up in roles that are diminished or put down, and it really bothered me. And so I began to find ways to help support women. And so I would organize events. And of course, then I'm doing the teaching, the training in those events. And so suddenly it was like, hey, what if I could do this full time and this be my job? That would be like heaven. That would be my sweet spot. So it kind of evolved over me helping other women succeed in male dominated businesses and industries. And here I am.
And you've done a few of those retreats for sure.
Yes, absolutely. So I've ran 3 women in leadership retreats and in Canmore, which is a beautiful setting to do them in.
It is.
And they've been very successful, lots of fun. It's that rest and relaxation as well.
Oh, every time I leave a retreat or anything that has this amazing container, you just cannot not grow, basically. Everyone needs to do it. There needs to be a line item for
in the budget, especially for solopreneurs, right?
Yes.
Because as you're aware as well, it is very taxing to be alone so much and pour all yourself into that business. To have an opportunity to connect with other women and get ideas for how to make things better is a great opportunity.
Definitely. So talk to me about the Glimmers.
Okay, so my whole life took a turn during COVID.
Didn't they all? Yeah. All right. Oh gosh.
So my world shifted significantly. My husband works away from home, and it was a one-way ticket when he left home in March of 20.
Wow, right at the beginning.
And so the first 6 weeks, I had no human contact at all. My son is very much a rule follower. It said no mixing of rooms. So I couldn't see my grandkids. My husband was alone. And so from a hugger to no human touch.
Yeah, deep.
I started to head towards depression. I gained a ton of weight. I could go on, and my perimenopause symptoms at the time.
Hi.
And so I hit rock bottom, and I really didn't want to be here anymore. And so I started to research Eastern, Western men, and I was sorting hundreds of thousands of photos, because I used to be a photographer, so I have that many. And I noticed in sunrise and sunset photos this little streak of light.
I've been looking for this streak. I haven't been able to spot it yet. Is it only to some eyes or?
Well, you'll notice it for sure in your camera.
Okay.
Or your phone.
Yeah.
Because it's just the way the lens of a camera bends light. And so, and it happens in those moments as the sun is going across the horizon.
Right.
So I went,
or how we're going across. I know everyone talks about the sun moving, and I'm like, listen, that's not a fact.
Yeah, exactly. And so I just went, oh, that's a glimmer. That's cool. And my brain went, oh, you should focus on the glimmers. And so I started to focus on those things that made me do that. that deep breath that makes
Mm-hmm.
you relax, and it helps the body relax, right? And so I started a photo album on my phone called Glimmers. And so every time I take one of those pictures that makes me go, that's cool. I save it to my Glimmers album. So I have everything in there from rainbows to my grandkids to, of course, sunrise and sunset. I use the hashtag sometimes I break for sunrise and sunset. And if you were to ask my husband, he'll tell you it's true. It's like, stop, because I got to get that picture. So,
Mm.
so that's where Glimmers came from. And then it became popular on social media too. I won't say I invented it, but
But I could be the OG.
I could be.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So that's where Glimmers came from.
That's so beautiful. Okay, so now we're out in the world speaking, training, and coaching with natural design. Talk to me a little bit about, just in brief, of like what natural design is and how you're working with it.
Sure. So, natural design was created by someone who is an engineer, and their brains work way different than ours. But she isn't your typical engineer. So, this is an algorithm she has created. She has tested it for well over 25 years, and it's proven time and time again. So, it's a tool. It's a lens to look at yourself through. And so, I was introduced to it. Because again, during COVID, a lady from Community Futures, they provide funding for solopreneurs and
Oh, cool.
entrepreneurs, introduced me to another individual who had participated in the program. So we had met, and she's the partner of the creator of Natural Design. So we connected, they told me about it, they ran my numbers, put me through it, and did a training session. And then I've been through three or four since then. But literally, the very first day we met, I said, "Are you certifying people?" And they're
Right.
like, "We're
That's so
working on
good.
it. We're thinking about." I said, "I want to be there when you do."
Mm.
And so I am in the first group that will be certified. It'll be within the next few weeks. I'll be completely done. So I am very excited because for me, it was some of those qualities that the world puts a label on.
Mm.
As even as natural born leaders, I got called bossy a lot, when in fact it's just leadership. It's not bossy, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so learning the positives, and then even some of our natural attributes have shadow sides.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Of course.
understanding what those are and how to mitigate that is really important. And so learning to get on the place where you can operate within your natural design, catching yourself when you start to go the wrong way. And I think one of the most beneficial pieces was knowing my husband's, and then learning how to work together through that.
Mm-hmm.
My husband and I are very opposite on certain things. He likes order, and I like chaos. And so, how do those two people live in the same world and not fight constantly, right? And so, it's really been a good tool for us to learn to
Mm-hmm.
understand each other too.
So good. Any kind of tool that helps you understand yourself at a deeper level and how you are in humanity's world here that we're all in, is helpful. Yeah, for sure.
And whether that's your partner or your business partner or
Yes.
people you work with, really good tools to have.
You call yourself a mental wellness expert. So when you go and train and speak, is that primarily what you're talking about?
Yes, because of my experience during COVID,
Yeah.
one of the things I really noticed, and again, because I had worked so much in male-dominated industries, public works, the HVAC business,
Oh, yes.
what I find is that men,
Was I wrong with government or
no,
oh, you
I
did the two. Okay.
15 years in government.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. Okay.
So, men in particular don't like to talk about mental wellness. And so it needs to be a safe
Mm.
conversation to have. And so we need to start to see those changes in the workplace where anyone is comfortable having that conversation.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of that starts from our willingness to share our own story
Mhm.
and then to provide some tools for how to move forward. And so that's what I
So
like to
good.
do is provide actionable tools that people can put into place literally that moment. And Glimmers is one of them, right? Creating that photo album. Literally, the last time I spoke on this was at a Chamber of Commerce meeting. And I got a text from the lady the next day saying what a difference it made in my day. And I've already shared it with my friends on how to make that
Yeah.
change.
Easy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We need reasons to feel good, honestly.
Yeah, there's enough out there in the world that makes
Mm-hmm.
us not feel good.
Mm-hmm. And I know you're thinking, okay, I just couldn't see my grandkids and my husband was gone or whatever. Like, it's not like, the worst, but it is in our own little world, our own little way. It is a total disruption of like what we are accustomed to, nurtured into, all of those things. And so, yeah, how do you need ways to cope? You need ways to see things in a way that aren't going to take you down that spiral, because it doesn't have to be that way. We can adapt and change and grow. I wasn't trying to minimize your story. I just was
In no way, because trust me, that was part of even the problem.
right. The guilt you have and the shame. It was
Exactly.
like, come on,
It's like,
come on, Jeannette.
this was
Yeah.
not that bad.
Yeah.
It didn't affect me, but
Right. It did.
again, it was things piling up as well.
Yes.
Every time I tell this story and I talk about Christmas of 2020, and it will happen right now, I get emotional because standing outside the front window of my son's house and having to wave to my grandkids, it just broke my heart, right? Because I'm so used to being able to be personal and have that personal touch, to have a
You're right.
window and that much space between us.
It was
literally
wrong.
broke my heart.
Yeah.
And so it it is devastating when you're already struggling with a lot of other things.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people can relate to that time, because that was
Exactly.
truly
Absolutely.
fucked up.
My story was not unique in any way.
Right. But we all
But
can feel that.
yeah, and I mean, even the last year of my life, the contract work I've been doing has been really stressful, but the tools I learned, I would have never gotten through this year
Mm-hmm.
if I didn't have those tools.
So on my last show, I used to ask everyone, like, what are you passionate about? And this show, it's now about what lights you up. And what I mean by that, it's different than passion, because it's sort of the thing that, I don't know, like today, the big thing for me was booking that stand-up class. Like, it just lit me up to book that for myself and do that. But I'm not passionate about it, I don't think. It's more of like this feeling in me that gets me giddy, that excites me. So what is that for you? One of them.
Honesty, it is when I get an email or a text or a phone call from saying, hey, what you said made a difference in my life. What you taught me has
That's the
changed my
best.
life.
Yes.
One of my first clients in natural design, at that Chamber of Commerce meeting said, what she taught me was revolutionary for my life and has made the world a difference. So, I mean, that lights me up, right? Knowing that people have made that change in their life for the better is, yeah.
That sizzle. That's
It is.
like yummy. Then the steak. It's the whole thing.
It
It's
is.
like the full package. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very cool.
very much so.
Well, keep on transforming lives. Revolutionizing lives.
For sure, I'll do that.
Good.
And I'll keep wearing blue. Not
Good.
stop.
It was so funny. I was going to do my nails today, and I was going to do them blue, but I was like, it's not going to match anything. What would have matched this? But anyway, I was going to wear a dress, remember?
Yeah.
Anyways, but now I see what the blue was about for me.
There you go.
I was somehow
You were
channeling you.
me.
I was. Okay. I will put all of Jeanette's details below. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
That was fun.